You get home from work. It's the end of the year. You're looking at February. You need to file your taxes for the previous year, but the website you used to use to file your taxes for free online was bought by a larger company, and monetization was introduced to that website's typical platform. So you have to go on Reddit to find a new Canadian website to now do your taxes for free. And you're going to get to that, but you want to spend probably an hour and a half playing games before you do that. And so you're hoping that maybe there's a game for you that can be enjoyable in that amount of time. Well, I've developed a tool to review games from the perspective of just that person, somebody with limited time to play who has the regular responsibilities of the 9 to 5 worker. So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing Balatro. I'll go over all the criteria that I've defined to help evaluate the game. I'll assign a score from 1 to 5, and then you can form an opinion about whether you think this game is for you or not. Getting right into it, I played Balatro for 34 hours. I saw the 0.99 and I thought that was the price. It costs $18.99 Canadian, and the genre, it's a strategy, roguelite, single-player turn-based game. So it's a deck builder, Slay the Spire, Monster Train, what are other games like that? It's a roguelite, meaning you get a series of randomized upgrades from a pool every time you play, keeps things fresh. You probably heard about this game, it's pretty massive. And I'll just start scoring it right away. So time to reward. If you buy this game and you click play, after you've downloaded it, how quick are you having fun? Well, for this game and many games like it, it's very immediate. There's no introductory cutscene. There's no tutorial that is different from the regular game. It gets you right into the action right off the bat. So it could be only, a minute, 30 seconds, and you're good to go. So if you're looking to get this game and you want to know how quick it's going to be before you actually start having fun, or at least getting to interact with it, well, it can't really get any better than that. That's a 5 out of 5. You get it, you download it. It's so small too. Downloading it by itself will take you not that long, and then you can play immediately. Learning curve. So how easy is the game to learn? How long does it take to become proficient? Why is this score on the list? Well, you could imagine if the learning curve, typically you have more fun the better you are at something. I find that to be true with many things, including video games. And so if the learning curve is so steep that not knowing what you're doing makes the game unenjoyable, then the amount of time required from you until you're actually having fun in a game can be so long that it may not even be worth the investment at all. If it takes 40 hours of going on Wikipedia and learning combinations of things just to be able to interact with the game in a basic way, I wouldn't say that that game is tailored towards somebody with regular 9 to 5 obligations. But this game is definitely not like that. There is learning to be done. It is a strategy game. It's a deck builder. And that's going to require a decent bit of you just sitting, reading descriptions, and thinking. But it introduces you to that only with a small amount. And there's a few ways in which this game does that. When you buy the game, you press play, there's two things to benefit you. One, there's a scaling difficulty. So the game starts off quite easy and forgiving to make it so that even if you don't know what everything does, you still have a good chance of winning, which makes it fun for you. So don't worry about being overwhelmed with choice and needing to learn 1,000 things before you can enjoy the game. It eases you into it. It's really not that bad. Two, in addition to the scaling difficulty, it also has an unlock system. So when you get into the game, maybe the jokers are the things that you buy and equip to modify your run to make you stronger. Let's say you have 50 of them. I don't know how many you start with, but it's a limited amount. Over time, as you play the game, you do achievements, you complete challenges, you'll unlock more. So it spoon feeds you content such that it kind of gives you time to catch your breath and learn things at a reasonable pace. So those two things are on your side. That being said, I can't reasonably give a strategy game a 5 out of 5 for learning curve. If you can imagine a game like Getting Over It, there's only one thing you have to do in that game. You have to figure out how to move, and that's it. If you think of a platformer where all you can do is run and jump, well, there's no learning curve on those games, and those would be superior to this. In this game, the better you are, the more fun you will have, and the more knowledge you have about all the jokers, all the bosses, what hand types are the best, what the probability is of getting certain cards, like should I ever run a deck that has pairs as the main playable hand? What about 3 of a kind? What about 4 of a kind? Straights? What are the best seals? Do I want red or purple seals? Should I take any of these spectral packs? How many cards should I have in my hand? There are a lot of things to learn, and I'd be lying if I said the learning curve, was forgiving to the extent that it gets a 5 out of 5. There's no chance, honestly, even for this game, which is an amazing game, and it does, it drip feeds you that learning curve. If you really Oh, it's between a 4 and a 3. It's between a 4 and a 3, and it's tricky here. I'm going to give it a 4 because the game is too good. And it's just, there is a learning curve, but it's not like you're not going to have fun. It's easy enough that all you have to do is you see something you don't know what it is, you read it, now you know what it is. And if you can't put 2 and 2 together about how to use that card, that's not the game's fault, honestly. But it's not a 5 out of 5 because there are many things for you to have to learn. Session flexibility. So 2 things about this. 1, when you press play, what's the average time commitment for you to be able to get in and get out there, winning the game? And 2, does it lock you in for any minimum amount of time? Well, luckily, this isn't a multiplayer game, single player, so you can pause whenever you want, quit the game entirely, and additionally, if you were to, for example, get into a run, press play, get to round 3, and then say, oh, I gotta go, close out the game, it does save your progress, so you can continue your run exactly where you picked off. So super flexible in that regard. And if you wanted to get from beginning to end, how long does it take? Well, it's kind of up to you. I would say to beat the game fully and get to the final boss, it takes probably 25 minutes on average. But that'll depend on 2 things. 1, what type of deck have you built? Some decks require longer just to win because they require you to do tedious activities. Buy this, sell that, change this from here to there. I need this order to be different. That takes longer than if your deck just multiplies by 20 every time, right? So there's variability in the length for that reason, but it's also up to you as the player. How long are you agonizing over your own decisions? And that's for you to decide. The game isn't going to hold you back there, but if you are somebody who can't make a decision easily and you're going to spend 50 minutes in every shop, that's on you, buddy. Nothing I can do there. Nothing the game can do. So flexibility is 5 out of 5. At the end of the day, it doesn't force you to do anything. You can leave at any time with no penalties, and the game from beginning to end is extremely quick. So super flexible. Grind and tedium. You may think there's no grind in this game. You don't have to farm straw or bricks to make a masonry to upgrade your deck size permanently. There's no meta system is what I'm getting at. So there's really, you're not grinding from that respect. However, there is an unlock system. And if you are a new player and you want to take advantage of 100% of what the game has to offer you, which is a fair thing to do for somebody who spent money on this game, and you don't want to have to download a third-party modification to unlock everything from scratch, you're maybe asking yourself, well, how quick would it be to unlock everything? The answer is not quick at all. It would take you a very long time to do all the achievements required in order to unlock everything. So that would be a bit of a grind. However, this game understands that you as a player may want to do this. So it gives you the option to say, do you want to unlock these things traditionally, or do you just want everything at once? It lets you make that choice, which is a fantastic feature, understanding that this is a video game and respecting your time as a player. So if you were to buy this game and you're confident in your abilities to make the right decision in a strategy deck builder, and you don't want to have to slowly unlock cards, you want to utilize everything off the bat, well, perfect for you. The game literally has an option in the settings that you can enable for your save file to say, unlock everything, please, which is a fantastic feature. So for this game, is with regards to grind and tedium, there is no grind, there is no tedium, which is excellent. Value proposition. How good is the game relative to the cost? Well, it's a great game, extremely fun, lots of content, lots of replayability, very affordable because it's an indie game. That being said, the current era of indie games have a separate pricing structure because every day a new game comes out for less and less money, $2, $1. They pay you just to play. And they have more and more content. What am I saying? I'm saying that this value proposition is based on what the other games are in this genre that it is competing with. So all I'm getting at is there are games that provide more content than this for less money. That is true. So when you're comparing this game to games like that, it doesn't succeed as well as those games do. So $18.99 Canadian, that is very affordable for a game, and I think this game is well worth that price. But I don't think that dollar value is such a slam dunk that this would get a 5 out of 5 on the value proposition score. If it were a bit cheaper, I'd say, wow, amazing value for money. But it's not quite there. It is a bit more expensive than the super bargain indie space, right? There are $12 games, there are $10 games, there are $5 games. Vampire Survivors is like a $3.50 game. And that game has a ton of content too, right? So all I'm saying is there is enough competition with more content for a cheaper price that I don't think this game is competitive enough in this category to get a 5 out of 5 on this specific criteria. So memory burden. What does this mean? Well, this means if you have not played the game in a long time and you were now going to play it again, what are the odds that you know what you're doing and you can have any fun with it again. Are there so many complicated systems that you have to re-educate yourself for 2 hours before you can play the game again? Well, there are games like that, but this is not one of those games. The beauty of the roguelike formula is every time you play, you start from zero. And you can build yourself back up. It doesn't start you at round 10 with a pre-existing deck that you have to know. It gives you the opportunity to build that again from nothing. And so even if you haven't played for a long time, it's like it's giving you a tutorial every time you play, because your options are limited. You only have $10 to spend. It's likely that after your first battle, you can only buy 2 things. And so even if you've never played the game before and you're picking it up, it's extremely easy to understand because the number of decisions that you can even make are limited, right? So with regards to memory burden, if I were to play this game right now, and I haven't played in a long time, Steam is telling me I haven't played since April, I would immediately know what I'm doing, and I would remember quite quickly what all the cards do and the decks do. And if I don't, well, the description's always there for me to read it anyway. So very good as far as the memory burden is concerned. For loop satisfaction, this game's good. It's very good. It's very fun. Now this is, partially a matter of personal preference, but there are many things that this game did right. It's got a great soundtrack, which is good. Visually, it's interesting. It's very polished. I've never had it break or behave in a way that I didn't expect it to. And it's got a lot of depth. It's not just pick this, there's depth with regards to the type of hand you play, the poker hand. Am I playing a straight? Am I playing a flush, a 4 of a kind, etc.? But it also has planet cards that upgrade your hand type. Each joker has its own entirely unique spin. So you can imagine every joker has a possible synergy. You can build your entire deck around half of them. So it's easy to play in novel ways, and it's that novelty that gives you dopamine. If the game is stale and plays the same way, that's when the fun starts depleting itself. But for this game, because of the complexity of the systems and how well they've designed the synergy of everything, it makes it so that even for me, having played 34 hours, I feel like there's so much more for this game to provide to me that I just haven't taken advantage of yet. So it does very well with that. The seals, the Spectre cards, doing some, there's a lot of subsystems. You'll play it for the first time, and you'll be introduced to a few systems, and you'll think, wow, these are some good systems. And then it'll show you an entirely new type of system that you didn't even think about. I have to balance glass cards with a seal on a glass card, and my joker has a foil on it, and I got a negative joker, and this joker does this every time that I sell my card, I get extra mult, and there's so many different subsystems within the game. It gives you so many different branches that you can intertwine, and that just means more synergies, more replayability. So it's very good. It's also enjoyable. You like to win. It's fun to the sound. It's got great haptic feedback. Just the sound that the chips make every time it scores a card. It's they know what they're doing, or the one developer knows what he's doing. It's gratifying. Just to play, just in its basic thing, just selecting the options and clicking on the menu items, that alone feels satisfying. So I don't think you could do much better than this. That's going to be a 5 out of 5. Now the only thing left is my little points to assign up to half a point outside of all of these criteria, just based on my personal preference. I like this game. I think it's good. I enjoyed it a lot. It's unique with the deck builders. It took an interesting spin on it. It's already inspired so many clones of this game, and even some of those clones are very good, which is typically... that if the offshoots of the game are really fun, then the original must have done something magical. So it deserves at least a 0.2. And I'm happy enough with that score. So let's now add it to the table of games. Balatro. Oh, hello. Hello. All right, so what were the scores that I assigned again? 5, 4, double 5, 4, double 5. 5, 4, double 5, 4, double 5, and then a 0.2, right? 0.2, which I think brings this to the number 1 spot. And as far as all games are concerned, is Balatro the best game of all time? No, of course not. But this scoring tool is not designed to tell you what is objectively the best game. This is designed to tell you, knowing that you have limited time to play games, which game is going to respect your time the most? Which one's going to make you have fun the quickest? It's not going to stand in your way about how long you have to play it. You can quit anytime. You can play anytime. It's quick to launch. It's quick to close. You have fun immediately. Super flexible, super enjoyable, lots of depth, lots of replayability. Great value proposition too. It's cheap. For the 9-to-5 gamer, you can't go wrong with this game. You could even, if your monitor isn't facing your coworkers, pull this shit up while you're working. Now you're really min-maxing the 9 to 5 value proposition. I should probably add another criteria called conspicuousness or something like that to say, can you get away with playing this at work? You know, that's a sneaky one. And for this one, you probably totally could turn that volume off and just close that bad boy anytime you want, and you won't even risk losing progress. So I'm happy with that score. It's the top of the current list. If you like this kind of video, maybe check out some of my other ones.